And a good afternoon. Welcome back to your Afternoon 5 State Farm Report. Danielle Drotzman, your host here for 570 WNAX. Thanks for tuning in here today and joining us on this Monday. Well, we have a special guest that we are excited to get on here today and visit with. I have Dr. Mindy Brashears with me. She is a USDA Undersecretary for Food Safety. So, Mindy, thank you for joining us, and how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited to have you on and hear a little bit more about what you guys are doing in the Food Safety and Inspection Service and all the great programs and stuff you got coming up. So speaking of that, we've heard there are exciting opportunities coming for small processors. The meat and poultry processing program was just announced. So maybe fill us in on exactly what that program aims to do.
Sure. We are super excited to support our small and very small processors at FSIS. They actually comprise 90% of the companies that we inspect. So we really want to provide them with resources and opportunities to meet their needs. And there are several programs in place for them. FSIS recently rolled out the Small Plant Action Plan, and within that we have reduced rates for overtime, and when a plant works overtime, sometimes they have to pay for inspection. Well, now they have a reduced rate for that, and so it gives them opportunity to work extended hours. We're also offering more technical support to them, as well as offering them just better access to our inspectors when they have a question or if they're in the middle of a relation in the communication. So we're really trying to facilitate a better pathway where they can communicate better. So that's at FSIS, but we have a couple of other really exciting programs. One is our MPEP program, which is a grant program, and that's administered through RD, where they can apply for funding for equipment or renovations and different opportunities. If you're a small plant, there's a 25% match for that, but all of that can be found on the RD website. And then the other program is our SPUR program. It's strengthening processors for our U.S. ranchers, and that one will be really a payback to processors who have harvested cattle in the last year, and we will be paying them back just to help them stay in business so we can maintain the resiliency of our beef supply chain.
Gotcha. A lot of exciting things happening for sure. And you might have kind of already outlined it just a little bit, but is there like a specific audience that you're kind of targeting with this funding? Or, is anybody eligible, or I guess who is exactly eligible?
Sure. It really varies. For our small plant action plan, that's for any small or very small plant. And a small plant is defined as 10 to 100 employees, and a very small is less than 10. So that's really anything that FSIS does in terms of inspection fees and all that, that's for everyone. Our MPEP program, the grant, and also the SPUR program, that is targeting our smaller beef facilities, because Secretary Rollins is committed to her beef action plan, and it's supporting her beef action plan. So our small beef plants will be eligible for those funds.
Gotcha. And I guess what exactly are the goals with this funding? And you might have kind of already outlined that a little bit too, but are there any just specific goals with this program?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we really want to strengthen our local and regional supply chains. These plants support our local ranchers, and we want to make sure that we continue to support rural America. There has been a lot of consolidation, especially in the beef industry, and it makes it very hard for these smaller plants to compete, and we need those plants. Those plants maintain the diversity of our beef industry, providing our American families with really, good products that they may know their local rancher or, their local processor. And so we're really trying to support that and expand that capacity for them. The technical support is so our processors can stay, produce safe food. That's the ultimate goal. Not that they don't, but they just don't have the same level of expertise and the number of employees as our bigger guys. So that's another goal of the program as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, and just small processors are so important to rural America and the ranchers and farmers who live there for sure. But I guess one more time, just the details of where we can find the application or just go and learn more about these programs.
Yes, and it's spread out a bit. It's all on the USDA website, but the FSIS, Food Safety Inspection Service, is where you find out about the reduced inspection fees. Rural Development, USDA Rural Development, is where you can find out about the grant opportunities. And then our our FSA program, will be administering our SPUR program. So the FSA program is actually going to be a little bit automated. You'll still have to apply, but those companies will be getting emails and be notified if they're already in the FSIS system. So they need to be watching their email for that to be coming out within the next few weeks.
Perfect. All right. Well, with that, I guess, is there any other work or current things that are going on within the Food Safety and Inspection Service that I guess it would be interesting and maybe you'd want to share with our listeners here today?
Sure. We have a lot of things going on with our foodborne pathogens. At FSIS, our goal is to provide, safe food for our American families. And in order to do that, we really focus on informing our policies with data and science. We have several collaborations going on with ARS and making sure that we can find and detect salmonella and listeria, developing sampling and methodologies with them, and then that will inform new policies that will be implemented for not only our small and very small meat processors, but all processors across the board. So we're excited about these projects that have started just this year, and we should be wrapping those up in the next few months and then being able to roll out new programs to really reduce salmonella and listeria in our food supply chain.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned the foodborne illnesses there a little bit, and I guess summer is just the time for outdoor activities and camping, and, there's always lots of food outside during the summer. So just last but not least, any just tips for some food safety that we should keep in mind as, it's hot outside at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. We have some basic consumer food safety information that we have on our website. But generally, for our listeners, we want to keep our hot foods hot and our cold foods cold. Keep them out of the temperature danger zone, which is, 40 to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's hot, get those foods, if you're eating outside, get them back in the cooler and the refrigerator within 1 hour. And if you're cooking on a grill, if you're making those burgers, use the food thermometer. You need to cook those meats to 160 degrees to make sure, 160 degrees Fahrenheit, using a food thermometer to make sure you kill those pathogens and you keep your family safe. And last but certainly not least, wash your hands. Wash them before, wash them after, and wash them often.
Absolutely. All right. And I know you kind of mentioned it there a little bit, but you guys have lots of information on your website, too, all about that, so we can check that out if you're ever curious.
Yes, FSIS.gov. That's where you can find it.
Perfect. All right, Mindy, anything to wrap up on, or did I miss anything, or any message to leave with those listeners?
Sure. I just want everyone to know that at USDA, we're really committed to our small processors. I think that's reflected in the programs we talked about. We want to make sure that our supply chains stay strong and we protect, our rural communities, the jobs that these people have, and then ultimately at FSIS, we want to protect public health. We're here to serve, and if anyone ever wants to reach out or has concerns, feel free to reach out to USDA, and we're here to offer information and to listen.
Perfect. All right, Mindy, thank you for joining us here today. It's been a pleasure to visit with you, so you have a great rest of your day, and again, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Again, that's Dr. Mindy Brashears. She is a USDA Undersecretary for Food Safety. So she's joining us here today. We'll take a quick break. We'll take a look at some weather, and then we'll take a look at your markets here at the bottom of the hour. So stay tuned.